Hey, what's happening? In this video, you're going to learn how to take a really crappy sales letter and turn it into an awesome sales letter in a matter of minutes using AI. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to roast this poor sales letter right here, and then we're going to fix it with AI and make it awesome. This was submitted by a really nice guy, and this is from one of his clients who sells, you wouldn't know probably yet by looking at it, roofing stuff. So the very first thing we can roast about this is if you look at this from the perspective of the person receiving the sales letter. This is meant to be sent by direct mail, by the way. It's like a little flyer. Think about what's going through that person's head. They're checking the mail, which in and of itself is a pain in the ass. You know, they don't want to read anything that isn't immediately beneficial to them. They're distracted. The phone's going off. The kids are driving them crazy. You know how it is. So we don't have anything at all that gets their attention other than the phrase time-sensitive information right here at the top. That doesn't mean anything. So no one's waking up in the middle of the night going, oh man, I wish I had some time-sensitive information today. That would be fantastic. So the first thing we're missing here is a headline. All right, so that's like an easy fix. We need to add ourselves a headline. That's pretty easy. All right, so if we look at this, which your average recipient of this letter is not going to do, if we look at it, what we learn is that, okay, this is going to a customer that bought roofing stuff from these dudes. All right, so your roof was installed on date. So like they know when their customers bought the roof, and apparently the roof is now 5 years old and they have the ability to extend their warranty by another 5 years. So why would they want to do that though? You know, because no one is waking up in the middle of the night going, I hope I can extend my roof warranty. They're probably like most people thinking, why would I need a roof warranty? I just bought the thing 5 years ago. This goddamn, you know, they probably get mad. So we got to figure out like how to make this sound cooler for them. And what we're essentially selling, if you look at this, is we want them to give us some money and we'll recoat their roof. Okay, so we're going to apply the coating. If you buy roof coating from us, we're going to give it to you. We're going to ensure optimal drainage, and we're going to document your warranty extension. Okay, so I think what that would translate to is we're going to make sure your roof ain't going to leak and you're not going to have any problems. And if you do, it'll be under warranty, so you won't have to worry about it. But that's not what the letter says. We have to kind of infer all of this. All right, so let's fix it. So the way we're going to fix it is I'm going to copy and paste the original right here. So there's copy. I'm going to come over here to a tool called Ojoy, and I'm going to paste it in there. But before I do, I'm going to tell it what we're doing. All right, so I like Ojoy because you can talk to it. Also, I own it, and this is a highly biased video. The tool we're using within Ojoy is Project Shepherd. So check this out. I'm going to give you a sales letter for people who sell roofing stuff. This sales letter is going out to past customers who have already purchased a roof from this company. And the sales letter is essentially trying to get them to buy some sort of upgrade to extend their warranty and further prevent any sort of damage or whatever. I'm going to paste it below. It might look weird because I'm pasting it from a 2-column print ad. So the text might actually be out of order, but read it and see if you can make some sense out of it. And we'll start with that. Okay, so essentially, I just want AI to digest this thing and do all of the actual heavy lifting for me. So I don't want to, do any real work myself. Plus, this thing is trained really well. So I'll paste right there. So AI is going to read all of this stuff, and this is going to kind of figure out some things for us. Now, the way Project Shepherd works is you can actually just say hey, I need help writing content, and it'll ask you stuff. So it's going to ask us to confirm things. I'm going to make AI do all the work. I want you to read through the letter, and I want you to tell me what the main offer is and what the primary benefits of that offer are. So I don't want to do that work, Let's let AI do the job for us here. Cool. So it nailed it. That's the offer. You get a recoding of the thing, and when you do, you get a warranty extension, and they also inspect your roof and stuff. And it prevents bad things from happening. All right, so now what we're going to do is, all right, now I want you to read the copy again, and I just want you to look at the offer and figure out like all of the possible benefits that the person could get if they actually took them up on this offer. Like, what's in it for the buyer? Why would they want to buy this thing? What's going to be really important to them? And just sort of list all of the benefits that you can. And keep it within the context of what you're actually reading in the copy. Let's not make anything up, please. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because the original letter, it doesn't really, I think we can read it better here. It doesn't really tell us, I mean, it's like, all right, this is kind of all of the, I mean, there's really nothing in it for the person other than to potentially save some money and maybe, it's not very compelling. So we got to make this thing a little bit more compelling here. So let's have a look. All right. So now, next step is we got our benefits. If you were to rewrite this letter, and if you were to be focusing on the benefits and really trying to sell the service and from the standpoint of like, here's why you need to do this, here are the benefits to you, this is why this is important, how would you rewrite it? I don't want you to like actually write it for me, just kind of like give me a little outline of what it might say. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that the AI like gets it right before I go and write all of the letter, And here it is. So this looks good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it write this for us. And then I'm going to show you like the super ninja way to turn this into a really, really good hard-hitting letter. But first, there's one thing I want to make sure that it does, which is, I like this outline very much. The only change that I would make is I do want to acknowledge that they are an existing customer, and I want to reference when they initially purchased their roof. So we have that context because that ties back into the fact that the warranty is expiring. With that in mind, let's go ahead and write the first section. Okay, now I don't care how the first section sounds. I just want to make sure that it makes the points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it give us this little first part right here. And now that I like see that it's following my directions, I'm just going to go ahead and let it write the rest of the letter. And I'm going to take each little section and I'm just going to post it or paste it into a Google Doc. Okay, cool. So it wrote it, and here is the letter. Now we noticeably is already like telling them, here's why I'm writing you. Your roof's about to be hosed, and this could lead to bad stuff. And right now, good stuff can happen if you do the right things. Here's what's at stake. Here's the bad stuff that could happen. But here's how you can fix it, and here's what we'll do for you. So it's already like significantly better, and this would immediately work better than the one that was going to be sent out. However, we can make this even cooler. So what we can do is I can come over here, and I'm going to copy this whole letter, which is just the one that it rewrote for us. All right. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to paste the entire rewritten sales letter below. I want you to read it, and then I want you to come up with 10 examples of just excellent headlines and subheadlines that match this letter and this offer. Here's the letter below. There we go. All right. What this is going to do is it'll come up and give us like these great promises and then like really, hard-hitting direct response style, which first of all, if you'll notice, like we never had in the original, right? We had time-sensitive information, so there was no reason whatsoever for the person to actually read this sucker. But then we can use this to change the entire style and tone of the letter itself, all right? And sometimes what I like to do is have a second round of them made just to see, because like some like these are all right, but they're not awesome, and just to see like what we can do. So check this out. This is another fun little trick here. These are pretty good. What we need to convey is, hey, you need to read this about your roof right now. This is important specifically to you. And then the subheadline needs to explain why. So let's get another round of 10 of them, and let's make them even more intense. So the distracted homeowner who doesn't want to deal with this in the first place really can't help but read the letter. So let's really grab their attention and let them know what's at stake. We can be very direct. There's no need to use any metaphors about your roof's sunscreen or anything like that. Okay, let me have it. All right, so it wrote us another round. I like this one. Number 5, don't ignore this notice about your roof, because it's obviously what it's about. And then we kind of have the hey man, this deadline's here. So here's what we do. We're going to use this to now rewrite the rough draft like so. So I'm going to copy and paste this right here. All right. And I'm going to say, I like the headline that I'm going to give you below, the headline and subheadline. Okay, so first of all, I just want to give it the headline and let it know, and it's going to tell me, hang on a sec, how smart I am, and how AI is. Yes, you're very good choice indeed. So now what we do is we use this to rewrite the entire letter to match the tone of the headline and the subheadline, and that makes it all the more powerful and ties in with the big promise more. So it'll force it to bring that big promise to the forefront. So here's how you do it. What we need to do is we need to make the sales letter match the style, tone, feeling, and overall promise and messaging of the headline and subheadline itself, so that it all flows together perfectly. Can you rewrite the first section of the sales letter so that it matches with the headline and the subheadline? The reason we wanted just to write the first section is to make sure it sounds cool, and then we'll just say, all right, man, if it's good, we'll say, all right, go ahead, go for it. And dude, it crushes. All right. So imagine we got our big headline here, and it's Dear Bob, this notice requires your immediate attention. On February 19th, Durafoam, 5 years ago, Durafoam installed your new roof, a significant investment in your home's protection. Now, exactly 5 years later, you've reached a critical maintenance deadline you cannot afford to ignore. This is great, 1,000 times better. Here's what's urgent. Your roof's protective coating has been constantly exposed to harsh weather. Beautiful. All right. So now all I got to do is the same thing I did a minute ago, which is be okay, write the rest of the letter, and I'll just paste it into a Google Doc for us. You probably don't want to watch me do that, so I'll show it to you when I'm done. Okay, so it finished. That was easy. So look, this is what we started with. All right. Time-sensitive information. Boring, 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 boring. And this is where we are. Now, I just copied and pasted everything in here. This is the only edit that I have made to this, is I made the headline bold, and the subheadline is also bold and italicized. And what I would do is, to edit this, is I would just get rid of the "and save money" part. I don't know. I just like it better without it. And then now we've got the rest of the letter. So all of this is completely AI written. Now, would go through it and maybe tweak a couple of things, but at first glance, it looks pretty freaking solid. What's really awesome is that it's it knows that it's a 5-year notice. It's actually said, here's what's urgent. Your roof's protective coating has been constantly exposed, yada, 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 for 1,825 straight days. That's because it's 5 years. This is incredible. And then look, if you miss the deadline and you don't fix this, here's what's going to happen. Bad stuff, right? And here's why you need to take action so you can prevent this bad stuff and get this good stuff. Super solid. And it's written in a way that's good copy, not overly formal, not robotic sounding, etc. And what's the best about this is it's not making things up. It's going off of the original letter itself, which I think is really important if you're rewriting something with AI, that whatever you're saying is real. We don't want it to be making things up. So we just took this, talked to AI a little bit at Ojoy, and turned it into a usable, hard-hitting, but not over the top, not insulting or anything, reminder that will likely do pretty good. So yeah, that's how you do that. So if you have sales letters that aren't working, this is how to make them work. There's nothing to it but to do it. Okay, thanks for watching this little rewrite. Try ojoy.ai if you want to. You can try it for free and use it. Have yourself some fun. Sell some stuff. Take it easy.